Hey, what's up, everybody? Good evening. Usually I would do, Xbox News Tonight or PlayStation News Tonight, something along those lines. And I like to change it up every once in a while. Something that's been really bugging the hell out of me is this whole Microsoft or Xbox doesn't have any exclusives nonsense. But you see a lot of that going on now. A lot of videos about it, a lot of articles about it. It's not that Microsoft or Xbox doesn't have exclusives. It's that Microsoft and the Xbox One has a punk-ass media bias problem, where you have all these hipsters and things like that who grew up with PlayStation, and just go on and gush about PlayStation and things like that. The thing that I point out time and time again is the fact that going back to the end of last year, they had ReCore, Forza Horizon 3, which is the best racing game of the generation, Gears of War 4, Dead Rising 4, and Halo Wars 2 to kick off this year. People completely forget about Halo Wars 2. They act like it doesn't exist. They act like Quantum Break didn't exist. They act like Season 3 of Killer Instinct didn't exist. They act like all these things don't exist. When the Xbox One launched with huge AAA titles, AA titles, arcade titles, and the PS4 launched with Knack and Killzone, nobody mentioned these things then, right? Look at the games that I bought at launch on my Xbox One that you couldn't get anywhere else. Forza Motorsport 5, Rise Son of Rome, Dead Rising 3, Killer Instinct, Crimson Dragon, Loco Cycle, Power Star Golf, let me see what else. Fighter Within, which was a really bad Kinect game, but still, Zoo Tycoon, and then a few months later, Titanfall. That is an impressive lineup. That, to me, is an amazing lineup of exclusives. And within the first year of the Xbox One's life cycle, they had all of that, as well as Sunset Overdrive, Halo Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 2, and some other games as well. Updates to Killer Instinct and things like that, obviously. But, point being, they've had exclusives since the beginning, and people act like they don't. And if you look into it, you can see that when you see these lists of Xbox exclusives, they leave out the smaller ones. They leave out a lot of them, And then when you look at the PlayStation ones, they put in all the small ones, all the AA's, the arcade titles, everything. I mean, it literally makes me sick to my stomach when you see the propaganda and nonsense. And people wonder why I do what I do, why I talk up Xbox, why I care. Yes, it's just gaming. But at the same time, shouldn't there be at least some fair play when it comes to the media, or when it comes to YouTubers, when it comes to anything, when it comes to Xbox? It's like, okay, it looks like going forward, PlayStation 4 quote-unquote exclusives are all going to be timed, because eventually they're all going to end up on PlayStation Now on PC, right? But nobody's really talking about that. Nobody's saying anything about that. Everybody's just gushing over all these games. You see games get reviewed left and right on PlayStation that are completely flawed. Like, look at the mechanics on The Last Guardian. That game got amazing scores. Why? Because everybody anticipated it. That game was never going to get bad scores because the media would never let it get bad scores. Right? They tried to push that game, but anybody that's played that game knows that the controls are absolute garbage. So how can a game with complete garbage controls score so high? Horizon Zero Dawn. It has the same facial animations, maybe not as bad, but the same kind of really bad animations on the faces and the eyes and the bad acting and all that stuff, and nobody mentioned it in any reviews. How is that possible? Right? The things like long load times on that game never get brought up, but they get brought up constantly on Xbox games. Yeah, maybe I'm whining, maybe I'm pissed off, maybe both. I don't know. I don't really care. All I know is that it's a sad fucking state of affairs when Xbox can't get a fair shake just because it hasn't been around as long as Nintendo or Sony, and that's fucking pathetic. And if you're an Xbox fan, that should piss you off. And if you're a person that doesn't think that there's media bias, you need to wake the fuck up, because there is. So, anyway, late night gaming thoughts, with Crapgamer. Just one of those things that pisses me off. Let me know what you guys think. Rate, comment, subscribe if you'd like. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.